So to generate a response, we need to tap into the basic human psychology. Each message here builds momentum. We're leading with value, add emotion, and reduce the friction to reply. I'll quickly show you how to automate the whole process from CRM to texting platforms, video tools, and just automate outreach without sounding like a bot. So if implemented correctly, you should see at least a 35% response rate. That means real conversations and not just opens. All right. Listen up, realtors. If you think out there a follow-up is, just sending a text and hope for the best, you're never going to get anywhere. You're about to lose a lot of deals just based on the fact that you don't have the right follow-up system in place. I mean, I get it though. Follow-up leads in real estate sounds like a broken record, right? Everyone tells you to do it, but not many people tell you how to do it right. But a lot of follow-up messages I see from realtors, they sound like some broken robot from 2010. But this Miro board, this is the antidote. This is what you need to know. It's a no bullshit multi-touch follow-up system channel that actually gets prospects to actually respond, and this is guaranteed. I basically built this to help you stop getting ghosted and actually get more deals from your follow-up system. You're gonna go from ghosted to actually getting a contract signed, and all right, we're gonna have some fun along the way. But before we get into actually who I am and basically what I do, my name is Dylan Kirk. I'm the CEO and founder of Estato, and we basically build advertising systems for real estate agents. We're not just running good ads. We're not being in a position to test it, find out what works in your market, and then just give it to you. That's basically what we do for you. Hyper focus on quality, get rid of all the time wasters, because we realize 100 leads and 0 conversions is still 0 conversions. Because 100 multiplied by 0 is still 0. Doesn't matter how many leads you get. But yeah, let's start with the real problem here. So the real problem is that most realtors treat follow-up like, a broken record stuck on just like, hey, just checking in, right? It doesn't work. If that's your game plan, good luck. That's all I have to say. Just good luck. Because it's exactly how you sound. Desperate, robotic, and frankly, just forgettable. Most realtors just send a text or an email just saying like, hey, just checking in. And that doesn't work anymore. And this is basically why. What it does is too generic, it's too slow, and there's no personalization. And because there's no personalization, you haven't got any of these, there's no urgency, and therefore no reply. You don't get anything back. The truth is, most prospects you speak to get hundreds of these a day, 100 of these follow-up messages saying, hey, do you need any help? Hey, can I help you out? Sort of thing. You probably get the same amount of lead gen requests as your prospects get the, is there anything I can do to help with? It's the same sort of thing. And because of that, why would anyone respond? So it's like yelling in a crowded room where everyone is yelling basically the same thing. It doesn't work. You need to stand out. And that's not by being louder, but by actually creating a better follow-up system. Instead of going, sending 7 SMS calls 7 days a week, copy and pasting scripts like, hey, just checking in, you get seen as realtor number 4,768. That's a brutal honest truth. You blend in so much by having a follow-up system like that. And this is where my system isn't based about repetitive spam. It's about actually meaningful strategic touches that actually build curiosity without burning bridges. And this is what we want to aim to do. So let's talk about the secret sauce. Your follow-up system needs to contain urgency, it needs to contain value, it needs control, and it needs curiosity. If you're not ticking off these 4 boxes, you're going to fall back right into here and you're going to look like that Buzz Lightyear meme of like hundreds on the wall, because that's exactly what you are. Realtor number 5,068. So first of all, curiosity. If your message piques curiosity, people have to open or respond. Nobody wants to miss out on a secret or like some insider tip, right? Insider being illegal, but you get my point, is that curiosity is what's going to drive people to actually open the message and even respond. Second one is value. So when you give value first, people feel compelled to engage because, the whole thing of like, you scratch my back, I scratch yours. It's the same sort of deal where you're helping people so they feel obligated to actually, listen to your response, open up, maybe even reply back. Third one is urgency. So with urgency, not the sort of buy now or else kind of stuff, not the obvious FOMO that people see a mile away. They know what you're doing, right? They know what you're doing. You need urgency that feels subtle. So limited options, only a certain amount of slots available, that sort of stuff. It's a lot more subtle than buy now or else. This doesn't freak people out and actually invites people to actually click on without creating too much urgency or FOMO. The final one is control. So control, you basically let your prospect feel like they're in charge of the whole process. If they feel at any point that you're the one stringing them along, they're not going to move forward with you. That's the end of that. That kills it. But these pillars are baked into every message. So your follow-up system, it feels natural, helpful, and it just feels in general hard to ignore. So to generate a response, we need to tap into the basic human psychology. And the way to do that is through curiosity, which gets the open, urgency drives the action, and the CTA must be effortless. So this combination here is what we're going to do over the touch point of 21 days. So let's start off with day 0, the initial CTA drop text. So this one, you just drop it into them. You basically just say, this is where it all begins, the first text. But it's not the typical, hey, you there, garbage. Instead, it's, hi name, this is just blank from your agency. Just wanted to see if you're interested in buying or selling something in maybe Texas. I have some options you might like. Let me know. So it's subtle, it's very simple, and you're not forcing them to do a whole lot. It's simple. It creates curiosity without sounding desperate, and that's the key. So moving on to day one, it's a voicemail and an email. And yes, with a voicemail, it's not dead. Voicemails aren't dead. You just gotta sound human and not like a robot. So instead of just saying like, hey, just checking in, you say something like, hey, I tried to reach you earlier. Just wanted to share some insider tips on avoiding common mistakes buyers or sellers are making right now. Give me a call when you get the chance. And you want to do an email as well to follow up as well. Just hit on the inbox and say, quick tips for area buyers, sellers, don't miss out. And you say, hi name, I left you a quick voicemail earlier, so reinforcing that. Just wanted to follow up here. Many clients are surprised by the common mistake or market insight. If you're interested, I'd love to share how you can avoid it and get the best deal. Reply or call anytime. Best, your name. So those two there could simply get you over the line straight away. So next one is day 3. So this is a short value video or testimonial. So by day 3, you're basically just dropping a quick 2-minute video or a testimonial, because videos is where the eyeballs are and get trust built fast. So no one's got time for like a 10-minute talk of just like a sales pitch or why you're the best realtor, why you're the #1 Zillow person for 30 years straight. That doesn't work. So you want to keep it short and you want to keep it real. So show you're not just talking the talk, but you're actually walking the walk, so to speak. So hi name, I made a quick 2-minute video explaining why now is a great time for buying or selling in area. Here's the link, let me know what you think. It doesn't have to be groundbreaking, it just has to be informative and it has to contain value. Whether you want to do this on SMS or email is really up to you. With SMS, I do recommend it a bit more because you have the ability to actually send it over. With email, there's always a chance it's going to get into spam. But some providers as well don't allow SMS links from people, but you can give it a go, see what happens, see what the data says. So day 6 is direct check-in. So I'm doing this over text, just checking if they're still interested in the goal. But it's not the typical stuff of, are you still interested, snooze fest. You're more just really adding a subtle nudge about timing or changing plans. So this keeps you relevant without actually being annoying, which what happens to a lot of agents and why they give off car salesman vibes. So, hey name, just checking in. Are you still looking to buy or sell before a specific timeline or event? If your plans change, no worries. Just want to make sure I'm ready for when you're ready. So, really subtle, just saying, hey, if you're ready, I'm ready. So, letting them be in control. Again, this is what it's all about, copying these 4. These 4 are prevalent in every single thing I've shown so far. So just keep that in mind when you want to build your own, or if you want to copy and paste, because that also works. Case 10 is a case study. So, doing this over email, how client name, short and bold, and area fast and expected. So your email body looks like, hi name, just want to share a quick story about how it helps client name get top dollar on their home, buy their dream place in under X days or weeks. I think you'll find it useful as you consider your options. So very, very short, very, very simple. So with day number 10, you're basically looking at that case study, reinforcing the fact that you're a good agent, but you're not selling yourself. This is where you can pull out the big guns and just give a quick case study or success story. Humans love stories. They're wired for it. So when you tell a case study, it really, really helps. You show them how you've actually helped someone in the past and actually help them close a deal fast. So it's not someone that you just, you spent a whole year trying to nurture and like get a deal. This is someone you've actually helped fast, and it's actually probably one of your best success stories. And people can associate themselves with that case study, because if it's just like the fact like a regular person got their house sold within X amount of days, like 30, 60, 90 days, they're going to think, oh, that was fast for them. It's probably going to be fast for me. They can associate themselves with the story. They can put themselves in the story. So day 15 is just a pattern interrupts. This is humor or a meme, just making sure that you're disrupting the pattern and they don't find you predictable. This is something you can send a funny meme or a joke. Obviously, depending on your client, you might want to be careful with what you send, but just a light-hearted reminder that you're human, because no one wants to talk to a robot or a salesperson, because humor creates connection, and then that connection creates conversation. So just having that there. Send a picture of your dog if you want, because I've actually found that works quite well for me with my clients, so just try that as well. So day 21, the final day, is a close file text. It's a polite last call that puts the ball in their court. It's completely up to them at this point. Remember, we're not going through and we're not doing day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. You see how spaced out this is. So day 0 to day 1, then you space it out. So 2 days between there, 3 days between there, 4 days between there, 5 days between there, and then 6 days between there. You're adding a day on extra to make sure that you're not really, you're not getting in the way, you're not being annoying by being too frequent. It's nice, it's spaced out, and it gives them room to breathe. This sort of spacing out realizes that you're not desperate and you're actually a professional. So you let them know that you're wrapping things up gently, but just saying whenever they want to jump back in, they just say the word, right? To say, hi name, just want to check in one last time before I close your file. If you're still interested, just reply and we'll pick up where we left off. Otherwise, I wish you all the best. Big emphasis on urgency here, as well as control. Just keeping that in mind, again, going back to these 4 pillars, you can see them established in every single one, but some highlighted more than others depending on where it is, which is really good. Now, I mean, what if you're sitting here going, Dylan, I mean, this is great and all, but I don't have enough leads to warrant this system. You know, it's a good thing I'm here, right? Because basically what I can do for you, you know, if I don't have enough leads to nurture, now that is a bit of a problem, but if you're actually looking to level up your leads and actually get more from what you're doing than just relying on a referral network you've built up for the last 15, 20 years that's giving you a lead every 4 or 3 months, then you can go into paid advertising. Now, this entire channel is dedicated to paid advertising because when it comes to it, a lot of realtors go to like Facebook ad companies number 5,678 to try and get more leads, and it turns out they get burnt in the past. But I have a free YouTube guide on, well, the whole YouTube channel is dedicated to paid advertising. So, start with this one here, or work your way over. That's step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5, and then your whatever ads, either Google, YouTube, whatever, they should start looking like this. And if it doesn't look like this, you're wasting your money. But there's a solution for that as well. You ever want to figure it out, then just DM me on Instagram. Each message here builds momentum. We're leading with value, add emotion, and reduce the friction to reply. Now, this whole system isn't about emailing or just texting, it's omnichannel. So what I mean by that is we mix text, we mix emails, videos, and even social touch points. And the reason we do this is because your prospects don't just live on one channel. They bounce around either Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, whatever, text. They bounce around, so you just got to meet them wherever they are. Don't rely on just one channel. People reply where they're comfortable, and repetition across all platforms builds trust. It shows you're flexible, and it shows you're willing to meet them halfway. Now, if you're sitting there going, well, Dylan, this system's great and all, but I don't have time to follow up with all the leads I get in. I mean, first of all, too many leads that's a positive problem, right? But first of all, if you're worried about not being able to fit this into your daily schedule, there's a great video here which perfectly highlights how to get your time management back as a realtor and get it basically back on track, focusing on scaling and not the BS stuff in between. So if you ever think you haven't got enough time, follow that video. If you feel that you still haven't got time after watching this video, you need to do some self-reflection. But secondly, don't worry about doing this manually. So once you've actually decided to do the work, I'm going to quickly show you how to automate the whole process from CRM to texting platforms, video tools, and just automate outreach without sounding like a bot, because that's the main thing you don't want to happen. Because efficiency and personalization, they're not mutually exclusive. So CRMs I recommend are Follow Up Boss and HubSpot, great tools. When it comes to SMS and email for actual automation, you can do High Level, which I'm affiliated with, by the way, just stressing that now. I am affiliated with it. I do have my own personal link. If you do want it, DM me and we'll sort it out. MailChimp as well, being a decent one. Video, you can use BombBomb, great automation, stuff like that. And with Loom. Loom's a bit interesting. You can't automate it as much as BombBomb, but Loom is a pretty good tool. As scheduler, Calendly. Calendly is a great tool. It's probably the best syncing calendar tool I've ever used personally, so I recommend Calendly. And when it comes to KPIs, you want to be able to see how this works, right? That's the main thing. So how do you know this works? I'm basically going to walk through the key numbers here and basically show you what you should be tracking. So for response rates to appointment booking rate, and then at the end of the day, closing rate. And you want to focus on quality instead of quantity. I stress this as data as well. Quality instead of quantity, because it saves you so much time. It makes you far more efficient. Overall, focusing on quality saves you time and it saves you money. And tracking these will actually keep you laser focused on what actually moves the needle forward and not worried about the BS in between. So if implemented correctly, you should see at least a 35% response rate. That means real conversations and not just opens. Your appointment book rate as a result of that should be 20%. Over time, this isn't something you're going to expect at day 1, but when you get to later stages, you get to day 21, maybe even earlier than that, that's when the appointment booking rates are going to come through. And then from appointment booking rate, depending on your sales skill, you're looking at a 5 to 10% closing rate. So I'd be very happy with that if just my follow-up system gave 5 to 10%. So if you are tired of just chasing dead leads and actually want a follow-up system that makes people actually respond, this board is going to be your blueprint here. This whole board is going to be in the description as well. So grab a copy, customize it, and start closing more deals without burning out. Hit the like button if you found this useful. Subscribe to the channel for no more fluff, actually real estate growth hacks. But if you want this Mario board, it will be in the description. If you want me to help you set this up personally and actually customize it to your market, your needs and stuff like that, DM me on Instagram, the word deals, and I'll help you set this up. But yeah, that's everything. See you later.